For the last few years, it feels like the whole AI conversation was just dominated by one thing: raw power.
Absolutely. It was this gold rush, wasn't it? Everyone's sprinting to build the biggest brain, the fastest, the most capable LLM.
Exactly, the bigger brain competition. But that seems to be changing quite dramatically now.
It really has. If you look at the moves the major players are making, the focus seems to have shifted. It's less of a sprint for just pure capability.
And more like a marathon.
Yeah, exactly. A marathon for efficiency, for scalability, and maybe most importantly for cost savings.
And that shift is precisely why we're diving deep today. We're looking at Anthropic's latest move, Claude Haiku 4.5.
Right.
Our mission here is to unpack what this, well, what they call a small model, really tells us about where LLMs are heading. Like, how do you get almost top-tier performance but slash the cost?
It's a fundamental question. And it's not just about one model release, is it? It points to a bigger change in how AI gets deployed, the economics of it all.
So let's set the scene a bit. Anthropic. They're a key player. Founded back in 2021, right? By folks who came from OpenAI.
That's right. So they had pedigree from day one, and maybe a different perspective too. They compete with the big names, sure, but their whole thing has always had this strong emphasis on safety, on alignment, reliability.
Which you see in their Claude series.
Exactly. That's foundational for them. High capability, yes, but built on safety.
And what's really striking, looking at the recent stuff, is this clear strategic pivot. They're not just chasing the absolute peak anymore.
No, it seems like they're actively prioritizing models that are, faster, cheaper, and just easier to scale up.
Which explains why we're talking about Haiku 4.5 today, right? Their lighter model, not necessarily the next huge Opus version.
Precisely. It signals they think the real market, the volume, is in models you can actually afford to integrate everywhere. Efficiency is the new battleground.
Okay, so let's talk about their model family. They have this kind of clever naming system, poetic names.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It gives developers an instant sense of the trade-offs: performance, speed, cost.
So 3 tiers.
3 main tiers. At the top, you've got Opus. That's the most powerful, the most sophisticated
A
one,
heavyweight.
right? Strongest, but needs the most compute power. So, highest cost, potentially a bit slower if you're hitting it really hard. Think complex reasoning tasks.
Okay, then the middle.
That's Sonnet. It's designed to be the workhorse, balancing the capability and speed, keeping the costs sort of manageable for typical business uses.
The reliable middle ground.
And then there's Haiku, named after the poetry form: short, sharp, quick.
Lightest, fastest, cheapest, optimized for speed.
Exactly. High volume, quick interactions.
And this Haiku, version 4.5, dropped October 15th, 2025. It's officially a small model, but here's where it gets interesting. Anthropic is saying near frontier performance.
Yeah, that's the eyebrow raiser, near frontier,
Yeah.
from their smallest model.
How near are we talking?
Well, this is a key detail, and it's kind of surprising. In some specific tests, Haiku 4.5 actually beats the previous generation's mid-range model, Sonnet 4.
Wait, hold on. The small, cheap model is outperforming an older medium model. How? And what kind of tasks are we talking about? They mentioned computer usage.
Right, that's crucial. Computer usage benchmarks aren't about, like, writing poetry or summarizing text. It's about more complex stuff.
Like what?
Think multi-step tasks where the AI needs to interact with tools, maybe browse a simulated web page, run a bit of code, or follow a workflow. Basically acting like a digital assistant or agent.
Ah, okay. So using tools, filling forms online, maybe helping a developer write code, that kind of thing.
Exactly that. And it seems Haiku 4.5, being optimized for low latency for fast responses, is actually better at those rapid sequential tool-using actions than the older, perhaps slightly slower mid-tier model was.
So it's ideal where speed is absolutely critical.
Definitely. Real-time chat, customer service needing instant info lookups, developer tools where any lag is just painful.
Yeah.
That's the sweet spot.
Which brings us neatly to the cost, the aha moment for anyone running a business. Because LLMs charge per token, right? Input and output.
Yep, you pay for what you send in and what you get back. And the savings with Haiku 4.5, they're not small tweaks, they're structural.
Let's lay out the numbers. This is really the practical takeaway for anyone thinking about scaling up AI.
Okay, let's break down the current landscape based on the info. First, the new one, Haiku 4.5. It's priced incredibly low. 1 per $1 million input tokens and 5 per $1 million output tokens.
$1 and $5 per million. That's wow.
That really sets a low bar.
It does. Now compare that to the middle tier, Sonnet 4.5. That's 3 per $1 million input and 15 per $1 million output.
Yeah, so right there, moving up one tier triples the cost.
Yeah.
3 times more expensive than Haiku.
Roughly, yeah. And then you go to the top, the flagship, Opus 4.1. That jumps to 15 per $1 million input tokens and 75 per $1 million output tokens.
15 and 75. So compared to Haiku, Opus is like 15 times more expensive on input and 15 times on output, roughly. Well, 15x on input, 15x on output relative to Haiku's pricing structure. But comparing total cost, Haiku is about 1/3 the cost of Sonnet, and yeah, less than 1/10 the cost of Opus.
Let's make that concrete. Say you run, 100,000 customer chats a day. Each uses maybe 5,000 tokens total.
Okay, good example. So that's 500 million tokens a day. If you were running that on Opus, the bill would be eye-watering very quickly.
But on Haiku,
Suddenly, it's potentially manageable. It changes the whole calculation. AI stops being this super expensive specialized tool and starts looking more like a utility you can deploy really broadly.
it transforms economics, and we should touch on safety again because that's Anthropic's thing. Haiku 4.5 did well there too.
Apparently, yes. The sources indicate it performed really well in their alignment and safety tests. Interestingly, it showed lower rates of problematic behavior compared to the bigger Sonnet 4.5 and Opus 4.1.
Huh. So safety doesn't just scale with size, they've baked reliability into the efficient model.
Seems like it. They've managed to optimize for safety even at that smaller scale.
Okay, but that leads to the big business question, doesn't it? If Haiku is almost as good for many things, and way, way cheaper, aren't they just killing their own high-margin Opus sales?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Or maybe the billion-dollar question now. And on the surface, yeah, maybe they risk losing some Opus revenue.
So why do it?
I think it's a volume play, strategic gamble. They probably realize Opus serves, the top 1%, maybe 5% of really complex needs.
Okay.
But Haiku 4.5 at that price, it opens up the other 95, 99% of the market. All those interactions that just couldn't justify Opus prices, they capture massive volume.
The mass market, get everyone using their model.
Exactly. Get developers hooked on the ecosystem because it's cheap and fast. And then if someone does need that extra 1% capability for a specific task, the upgrade path to Sonnet or Opus is smooth. But for most everyday stuff,
Opus is overkill.
total overkill. And there's the operational side too. Big models aren't just expensive per token.
Right, they need more compute, more servers, more electricity, just more everything if you're running them yourself or in a private cloud.
That's a huge hidden cost. So these smaller, lighter models like Haiku, they massively reduce those operational headaches. It makes large-scale deployment actually feasible, not just theoretically possible. Easier to run thousands of instances.
More energy efficient too, presumably?
Who'd assume so, significantly, which matters more and more.
And this must put pressure on the competition, right? If Anthropic offers this level of performance for $1 input, $5 output, can Google and OpenAI keep charging 10x more just for a small performance edge?
It definitely shakes things up. The pricing floor just dropped significantly. The advantage now is making AI truly scalable. If you want thousands of employees using an AI assistant all day, every day,
The cost of a heavy model becomes prohibitive.
a total budget nightmare. Haiku makes those daily multiple uses scenarios realistic.
So it's like, we don't need the Formula One car for the daily commute anymore.
Yeah, exactly. We've got this really efficient, affordable runner that can handle 95% of the journeys, faster and cheaper. You get most of the utility for a fraction of the cost.
That is disruptive.
It's the definition of it.
Yeah.
Anthropic is showing the next big thing isn't just more power, it's efficient power delivery, making it available everywhere.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up, Claude Haiku 4.5 looks like a direct response to what the market needs now, practical, scalable AI. The focus isn't just the peak anymore, it's the efficient base.
Right. It's about democratizing access. Which leaves us with a pretty interesting shot, doesn't it?
Now go on.
Well, if Anthropic can pull this off, great efficiency, speed, and safety in a small model like Haiku, does this mean the era of only the biggest model matters is actually over? And if the cost of really good AI drops this fast, what does that do? Who can suddenly afford to build new things with AI? What kind of innovation or even disruption did that unlock when the price barrier collapses?
That's definitely something to chew on. So we've covered a lot today on Anthropic's strategy here, and we really want to hear what stood out to you.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? Do you think this low pricing forces everyone else's hand? Let us know in the comments section below the video.
We'd love to read your questions and takes on this.
And hey, if this deep dive into the shifting AI world was useful, maybe gave you some perspective, please do give the video a like and share it with others who might find it interesting.
Absolutely. And to keep up with the latest AI insights and trends, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Everyday AI Podcast.
Don't forget to hit that notification bell too so you know exactly when new videos drop.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.
We'll catch you on the next one.